Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And don't know.
You're wearing the same clothes. No, I am too. That's what we are.
I'm out of practice.
I hit record too fast?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
So I'm Tom, the driver. This is Bunny wearing the same dress as the last 3 videos, and I'm wearing the same shirt.
Yes, we are. I went shopping.
I like that dress.
I know you like this dress.
So you can wear it every video. And then people will say we're broke and we can't afford clothes.
Right? Just because fuel prices are too damn high.
Right?
Jeez.
All right. So we are going to talk about my 3 inspections. I got to set my alarm. We're going to keep this under 10 minutes.
Whatever.
We're going to try to keep this under 10 minutes.
All right.
We don't want to bore you. So I've been inspected 3 times in 2 years.
You've actually been inspected 3 times in 6 months.
That's true. In 2 years of driving RV, I've been inspected. But I think that with COVID coming to an end, I think they're out more. They're starting, and we're seeing more way stations that were closed for the last 2 years are now.
They are back open.
They're back. They're starting to become back
open. And they're busy. You go through the port of entry in Arizona, and they have, not only do they have officers in there, they have officers along the side of the interstate waiting for people to blow or not buy their permits, and they're right on them.
Yeah, oh yeah, we just saw that. We were in getting the permits, and you could see what transporters are in there and what transporters are not. And then when you get on the freeway and you see a transporter pulled over, you know they didn't come and get the permit because they weren't in there when you were there.
Right. So remember, even if you have your permits, pull in and weigh. That way you're not getting flagged for anything.
Right. They know we're not going to scale. So, but they want to make sure you have permits. But by not going over the scale, you're supposed to pull over because you have those nice DOT numbers on the side of your truck. Legally, you're supposed to scale.
And guess what? If you don't, you're definitely in for an inspection.
Without lube.
Right.
I mean, I felt bad for that guy. So real quick, and then we'll get into my inspections. We come on the freeway, and about 2 miles up, and that's about where you see them get pulled over. We see them merging on, and I told Bunny, I always say when I see someone pulled over, I say, oh, they're going to have a bad, bad day. And that Arizona DOT, follows this guy all the way up to the off-ramp and off the off-ramp, so I'm assuming he wanted a safe place to do a full-on inspection.
Yes.
I don't think he was just getting, let me check your logbooks, I think he was bending over.
Yes. So we actually did a video on that. We didn't like the way it came out, so we're going to redo that one on the very, very importance of getting your permits right now. But this time is just on level 1 inspections on what you've gone through.
And my first one was at a way station.
Yes.
So
you were the luck of the draw.
I was the luck of the draw. I got the new officer. He wasn't new, but he was new to doing inspections. And I pull on the scale. This guy walks out, points at me, points over at the parking, and I went, oh, God. And me and Bunny have a rule. We do not wait for each other because we don't want to give them 2 inspections.
Right.
So I pull over, and he did basically a good inspection, I would call it. He asked for the standard stuff, pretty much everything we posted in our last video, and he kicked all my tires.
Yeah.
And he checked all my lights, the front, high beam, low beam, the blinkers, the hazards. And then he went behind the truck, did the same thing, but he included the brake lights, went to the trailer and did all that. He made sure, no, he didn't even make sure the running lights were on. He just made sure the blinkers and the brake lights worked. And then I got the free pass with no sticker. I have not gotten one sticker
I
yet.
told Tom I'm going to start carrying lollipops for him. Because
I'm going to give the cops a lollipop in lieu of a sticker. If they don't give me a sticker, I'm going to give them a lollipop.
He's got 3 inspections and no sticker. Don't they know that's a badge of honor?
It is a badge of honor. So the second one, I got pulled in. He wanted to see my triangles and flares on the first one. Not flares, but triangles and fire extinguisher. And flares are so out of date.
And flares are quite the opposite of an extinguisher.
That's true. So he, and this was in 2017, our black Ram.
Yes.
So then we've had 2 inspections on our new Ram. And the first one, one of my load bars had we pull into a pilot and the load bar just fell out. So I undid everything, repositioned everything, and did it correctly. I did it correctly the first time. I just don't know why it came out. So when we saw him, he was in a truck rest area.
Yep.
One of the little where the truck turnoffs are, not the rest area. And I told Bunny, I said, "Oh, he's having a bad day." And just then, another transporter for another company comes rolling past me, speeding. I was doing 65, it was 70, but he was obviously doing 75, 80. So, and then I see in my mirror the DOT in the same lane, and I went to Bunny, I went, "Oh, he's going to go get the other transporter because he's speeding." Yep. And he comes up behind Bunny and hangs loose, and Bunny's like, "He's not leaving." And I said, "No, he's just checking your plate. He'll go. The other transporter has nowhere to go. He's on a freeway or a highway." And he goes past Bunny, comes up on me, and never left. And I'm thinking, why? Why me? I have a clean truck, brand new. There's nothing wrong. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, the load bar fell down. And he lights me up. So, all right, so this is where I learned. When they light you up, you're supposed to go off the off-ramp, the next coming up off-ramp. Don't pull over on the side of the freeway.
No.
He yelled at me. He goes, "Why did I pull over on the side of the freeway?" And I said, "Well, I didn't know if I had the load bar fell off earlier, and I didn't know if it fell off again, and I didn't want to go sling to the right and having a load bar going flying across the freeway, so I just gradually merged over." Bunny, meanwhile, is gone. She leaves. Oh, and on the way station, she went through and she was gone too. She waits at the next off-ramp for me. And he was pissed. He was madder than hell. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to find... And I'm looking up on the off-ramp of a hot shotter getting inspected. So I said, I can go up to the next off-ramp. And he's like, "No, just give me your license, your registration, your BOL." And he starts shouting it all off. And this is in Missouri by Springfield. And I totally get that he was upset. We're on the freeway, and the emergency lane is as wide as the trailer, so he really had no room to walk around. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Is everything in that book?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Just give me the book." And I'm like, "Here you go." And that's what we made the book for, was to hand it over. He was so angry, I just was letting him say his piece. And finally, he goes back to his car, and he comes back, he goes, "Just go up to the next off-ramp." So I said, okay. So I go up to the next off-ramp, and I see the emergency lane now is only a foot wide. And I'm like, and the off-ramp is one lane. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be, he's going to be pissed at me if I pull over here. So I see the gas station around the corner. So I go around the gas station. Meanwhile, Bunny sees me with the DOT cop coming around, and so she sees that, knows that we're going together. So Bunny kind of makes herself invisible, and I pull into a come and go, and he comes up yelling. He goes, "Why are you pulling over here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I thought you wanted a safe place to to do an inspection." He goes, "Have you ever had how long you been doing this?" And I said, "I've been doing it for 18 months.
Yeah.
I said, "I've been doing it 18 months. He goes, "And you've never been inspected?" I said, "I had a way station inspection, but this is my first roadside inspection." And I think that kind of brought him down to back to normal levels that, you know, we're human.
Right.
I mean, it's a learn as you go business. So he goes, hey, we're just looking to inspect you and get you on your way. We're not looking to make your day hard. I said, well, I thought you wanted to be safe. And he goes, well, I'm safer on the off-ramp where the other officers know where I'm at and can see me versus half a mile off the freeway in a gas station that they'd have to come find me if this went south. I said, I totally get that. Totally get that. So he really only asked for my license, BOL, back there, and he got my book, so he had everything. He comes around. I had already unlocked my door because I knew the first thing he's going to do. He opened my driver's door, looked for the inspection sticker, looked at the VIN, closed the door, walked back, and looked at my trailer connections.
Yeah.
And I'll post a picture here of how I set up my trailers. And then he looked at the VIN on the trailer, went back to his car, back there for about 10 minutes, comes up and hands me all my stuff back. He goes, here's your clean, level 1 inspection. And he said, do you have enough hours of your day on your logs? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay. He never checked the lights, never checked anything else. So this goes to show that the first officer checked most of it. This one checked only a couple things. So, and then I got the clean bill of health and left. The third officer, I know we're going over time on this. The third officer was very detailed. Yes. He asked for everything, and we'll list the image here of all the stuff he asked for so we don't have to waste time and go through it. You can pause the video. And after he got all the paperwork he needed, he verified the VIN plate of the truck, VIN plate of the trailer. He verified the DOT number on the side of the truck. And he started to kick the tires. And I said, hey, you don't have to kick the tires. And he looked at me and I said, if you want, I'll show you the tire pressures on my dash. And because I handed him the book, when he started asking, he goes, you're making this inspection way too easy. I said, well, why wouldn't I? I don't want to get a violation.
Right.
So he looked at all the air pressures and everything, and he went a step farther. He had me shake my steering wheel back and forth, and he checked both tire movements and checked all my suspension. He went back, he looked at my trailer connection again. I always go overkill on it. He kicked the trailer tires, but then he actually came around and he checked the running lights. And when he had me turn on my running lights, he walked the whole trailer and actually cupped each light to make sure it was illuminated. And then he had me do the left signal, right signal, high beam, low beam, hazard, went behind the truck, did the brakes, went behind the trailer, did the brakes. But he did all of those at each step, the high beam, or the left turn, right turn, hazards, brake, running lights. And I'm thinking, okay, that's probably going to be it. When he comes over and jumps up on my running board and he says, okay, put it in gear and coast forward and hit your trailer brake. I'm like, uh-oh. Because probably 80% of these trailers coming out of the manufacturer, their trailer brakes, they're not quite adjusted where they're going to stop you. They'll slow you down, but they're not going to just stop you. And I was like, oh my God. And I know that they've had people push their emergency brake in and then put it in drive and see if the truck will roll. Mm-hmm. He didn't have me do that, but I have heard that's one of the things. So I'm like, oh God, please work. And I put it in gear, put it in drive, and I start going forward. I know that sometimes the trailer brakes need a little bit of speed. So I kind of gave it a little throttle to get a little bit of speed up, and then I hit it real fast, and I always keep my trailer brakes at level 10 to start, and then I can taper them down, but because they're so unadjusted, I want as much pressure on the trailer brakes so I don't burn up my truck brakes. And the truck just came to a stop. I almost said the word. And he almost fell off.
I seen that.
He goes, I haven't seen trailers like stop like this before, and I'm thinking, thank God. So he had me check my windshield wipers, and he had me do the washer, because you got to have washer and wipers. Thank God I had that truck. And he also checked my breakaway, and everything else went fine. We get done and everything, and we had a great conversation with him. Nice guy and everything. He passed my level 1 inspection. And I'll go back to the middle one, to the sergeant. He didn't ask for as much and everything. And after I got the level 1 inspection on him, I asked him, I said, now that I passed, because I didn't want to influence it the wrong way, I said, what made you pick me over the other transporter that was obviously speeding? And he goes, yeah, he was speeding. He goes, I could have nailed him. And I said, well, what made you pick me? And he goes, looking at his truck and equipment and looking at your truck and equipment, I knew you were going to be an easy inspection, and it was going. We're not out here to violate people. We have to contact so many drivers in a day.
Yes.
And he goes, you were going to be a 5-minute inspection, but it probably took a half an hour.
Right.
But he goes, next time just pull off the off ramp. They're just going to ask you for a couple things and you'll be on your way.
So number 3 was so much easier than number 2. Before the first 2, I was like so nervous because we didn't know what they were going to check for or anything like that.
What they're going to find. But
Tom takes really, really good care of his vehicles.
When that third officer asked to see, and he did ask to see my triangles and fire extinguisher, the second one didn't.
Right. So they're all
I have a tonneau
different.
cover that covers everything. I might have had the tonneau cover open.
I think you had a 5th wheel.
Did I have a 5th wheel?
On the second inspection, yes, you did.
No, I had my load bars.
Oh, duh.
So, but I probably had the tonneau cover rolled up, and he could see the fire extinguisher on my fender well. Triangles were in my toolbox, but I'm sure he assumed after everything else that I probably had everything. He didn't even ask to check my logbooks.
No.
The third officer, he goes, do you have your triangles and fire extinguisher? And I said, oh, I've been waiting for this because it's my new truck. I said, wait till you see this. And I popped open my tonneau cover and rolled it all up, and he was like, okay, you probably by far have the cleanest, nicest setup I've ever seen in a transporter. And I'm like, go big or go home.
That's our motto.
That's our motto. But yeah, we talked to him for about 20 minutes afterward. I wait till we pass, and then we kind of hang out.
We did bring it up in the other video, but I will bring it up again. The first thing he wanted to check was your logbooks, and wanted you to email it over to him. But he also did say that there are a lot of people that don't log until the end of the day.
And that's a red flag.
And that's a red flag to a DOT officer because anything could go wrong.
Right.
And you could miss a break. You could miss a fuel stop. You could drive 800 miles and say that you drove 650.
Exactly.
So just, if you have the opportunity, it's much better to just log as you drive.
And also, with that said, it's just be nice to them. Have what he did say, that the third was, he liked that we had everything in a binder where I handed it to him, and it was all in the order that he would most like. And if it wasn't, he could flip through. It had my medical, it had my DOT long form, it had our truck registration, insurance, it had everything in there, and our contract with our company. So they're really good. They're just wanting to make sure that it's not you, it's the public that is safe out there. And there's a lot of transporters, and there's a lot of hot shots, and a lot of semi-truck drivers that don't care. And that's what they're there, is to keep the public safe. And so far, 3 inspections, no stickers, but 3 inspections. we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I was so scared the first one. But honestly, don't be scared of an inspection. Just make sure you're logging. Make sure that your hours are good. Make sure your tires are good. Everything is good. None of them actually check the tread of my tires.
No, but just make sure that your truck is in running order.
Yes.
That's one of the main things that they're looking for. It's a safety inspection.
Exactly. So, all right, with that said, we're going to go ride the Harley.
We are. I get to put on another new shirt.
Yeah, I like the shirt. Well, the dress. All right, so until next time.
We'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.